What's going on, you guys? My name is Brandon from Vegas, and welcome back to the Won't You Be My Neighbor podcast, where we teach you everything you guys need to know about real estate. Today, I am here with my co-host, Mr. Bill Gaylord. We'll get that right one of these days. How you doing, sir?
Good, good.
And today, we have my most favorite special guest, Gracie. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank
Everybody, Grace just came back from her first stint with the military. Catch us up. Tell us how it was.
It was good. A lot of work. It's starting to get busy. Right now I'm working with the cooks, so I'm cooking right now.
Okay.
Now they told you to get in with the cooks, right?
No, they just told me that my food was good.
Make you
Hey,
good friends with the cooks, right?
she told Cardi B to go stuff it. She said, I cook and I clean. Okay? We get down out here. Today's lesson that we're going to be teaching you guys is the number one reason people don't qualify for houses is because they still spend their money like children, right? That is the truth. It's a heartful truth. It hurts people's feelings when I say that. But the reason we titled the episode the way it is because we need to make that emotional connection with you. A lot of you still spend money like a child, and we're going to prove it today. So, Bill, would you like me to run by the analogy?
Yeah, I love the analogy.
Okay.
Kick this thing off.
How
It's
many,
true.
if you're watching this and you have kids, if I gave your kid $20, what would they spend it on? Most of you would say Roblox, V-Bucks, Fortnite, video games, Starbucks, McDonald's. What you're saying is your kids would spend money on food and entertainment, bread and circuses. I challenge everyone watching this to open up your bank statements from the last month. Circle every time that you spent money on food and entertainment, traveling, plane tickets, crap at Target or Shein, right? You are spending money the same way a child does. And this is the reason why you're still renting and unable to buy a house. It's not because you're broke. It's because your money is going to the same thing that children buy. So
But
today,
doesn't everybody need food?
people do need food, but for the price that you Uber Eats one meal, I can meal prep for an entire week.
Yeah.
Right? You are paying, restaurants purposely charge 3 times the food's cost. Uber Eats adds on another 25, 30%. So when you Uber Eats, you're typically paying 4 to 5 times what the meal actually cost to get that food. You are living like royalty. The only people who should be using Uber Eats are like royalty, people with enough money to have other people cook their food and deliver it to them.
Yeah.
But the average person is now living like a king or queen from 40, 50 years ago, and it's absurd, right? So it's not here to tell people to stop buying groceries, because look at me. I'm clearly someone who buys groceries, right? And I'm not here to tell you not to have fun, but what I'm telling you is if most of your budget is going to food and entertainment, that's what a kid would do, right? And we need to help people get off of that. So today, we are going to do one of the hardest things we ever ask people to do. We are going to go through some bank statements because Bill can tell you this, Bill. What is debt to income and why is it so important?
Debt to income is basically how much you spend each month on credit debt divided by your gross monthly income, how much you make.
So how much you make per month versus what you're spending on things that are considered, what are things that are considered debts to people?
So debts are really credit cards.
Okay.
They're student loans. They're car payments. There's personal loans such as a jewelry loan or a furniture loan. Those types of things are all credit debt. The things that are not credit debt are like voluntary. So for example, if someone has a membership to the health club,
Okay.
that's not a debt that we would count against them on a monthly basis.
but that-
Even though they make that payment,
Yeah.
they can choose not to go to the health club and cancel that membership most of the time.
Yeah. One of the big debts that we try to explain to people isn't a debt is your rent. Your rent is not considered a debt in our world because your rent is going to become your mortgage. Same like your water, power, all those bills, those what we call housing bills, those will become your mortgage. So when we talk about debts, we're not considering that.
No.
Right? What we want people to realize is before we can get to your student loans, before we can get to your mandatory credit card payments, before we can get to your car loans, before we can get to your car insurance, before we can get to all of the big debts, we have to fight through Target orders, Amazon orders, gym memberships, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Shein, Fashion Nova, Starbucks. I can go on and on and
Wax.
on. Right? Before we can even get to the big boy debts, we're fighting through all what I call consumer debts, the things that we have normalized in our day-to-day life.
But all those types of things, I mean, we look at three things to get a mortgage:
Yeah.
credit, income, and assets. And I liken it to a three-legged stool, right? You need all three legs to make a stool stand, and you need those three things: credit, income, assets, to get a mortgage. And you sometimes a stool doesn't stand because you got one leg that's shorter than another.
Yeah.
And if people are spending a lot of their money on the credit debt, putting it on credit cards, Uber Eats, putting it over here, Uber Eats, even if they're paying cash, they're not one of the legs of the stool, which is assets, fancy word for money,
Yep.
money for the down payment. They don't have enough money for the down payment, so they're spending it over here. It's hurting their credit to debt to income ratio, and it's hurting their other leg of their stool over here. They don't have enough money for the down payment.
I think the three-legged stool. We should actually get like an infographic of like the three-legged stool, because this would surprise most people, because most people aren't seeing the financial data that you and I are. It's really not your guys' credit that's holding you back,
No.
and for a lot of you guys out there, it's not your income either. What's holding a lot of people back is the asset, the money that's in savings, right? That money is going to travel. That money's right
To Uber Eats.
to Uber Eats.
It's
That's
go-
where the money's going, right?
It's going to the nice dinners out. It's
100%.
going to all that stuff.
So what we're here today is to teach you guys how to save the A, how to make that A stool just a little bit longer, right? Because right
Yep.
now the stool is like the credit and income on the back legs are doing great, but now you're falling on your face because that asset stool, that asset leg is crookedy. It's this long, right?
You need to figure out how to lengthen that leg right there.
100%. So let's get started. If you're watching at home, yeah. If you're watching at home, this is one of the most challenging things we ever ask other people to do. But I promise you, it's like the first day of going to the gym. It's going to suck. You're going to feel weak. You're going to feel insecure. You're going to feel small. But if you can make it past that first week at the gym, it becomes a habit. It becomes habitual, right? Everyone who's watching this, I would like you to follow along. Go to your bank statements on your Chase app or whatever. Go to your bank statements, and I want you to follow along with us. I want you to circle every time you spent money on food or entertainment. I want you to circle it. At the end of this lesson, we're gonna add up all the figures. We're gonna compare that figure to your monthly income, and we're gonna see what your debt to income ratio actually is. You guys ready? All right. Bill,
Yes.
you're going to lead this. You are a financial guy. The person in studio happens to be somebody that you know personally.
Yeah. So Dad was mad this morning.
Okay.
So it was Mad Dad.
Mad Dad.
Mad Dad.
Mad Dad's on
this
the
morning
loose.
because, by the way, I'm very proud of this lady right here. Grace is in the Navy. She's 19 years old. She's worked her butt off.
Yep.
They did not teach her how to get up in the morning. Which is like, what is going on? But anyways, I am going to give her a bit of a break.
Okay.
Because she is stationed in Hawaii. So
She's 3 hours.
She's 3 hours behind. So it's a little bit earlier for her
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
She's actually
So
2.5
she's
hours
getting
early, in fact.
So, anyways, but so 19 years old, this is a perfect time for her to understand, because being in the Navy, she has what's called BAH,
Okay.
Basic Allowance for Housing, and it's monies that the military give them for housing off site or off base. And so she's 19. I would love to have her have a goal of buying a house in Hawaii within the next 2 years.
Okay.
And that's the goal. Now, can she use the BAH herself to get that? Probably not, based on her income. But she can combine herself with another individual within the military that also receives BAH, but they do have to come up and start saving for closing
So
costs.
two military veterans can combine their VA loans and their BAHs to get a house together.
100%. Three can. So what I would recommend, what I'm trying to get her into, right, is finding 2 or 3 people that she likes in the military that 2 will buy, 1 will rent, and they will basically pay for the house with their BAH. Now, She does need money there's no money for the down payment because it's a VA loan, but she does need money for closing costs. So that's what we would want to try and figure out is how to make her save. And Dad might help her a little bit too.
Of course, that's what parents are there for, right? You always need a good co-signer.
Yeah.
But having that BAH allowance is really beneficial, and it's one of the things we tell veterans all the time is to make sure to use that. I just didn't know like the combination where you can combine the VA loan to BAH to try to get something better, maybe split the equity, down the line.
They
right?
split their eligibility on the purchase.
Okay.
But they both receive their BAH and they can use it for the down payment. So what she doesn't know is basically she's 19. How long have you been in the Navy?
Most year.
Most of
It's
this
been
year.
a year?
Last September.
Last
Wow,
September.
Jesus, time is flying.
Boot
Yeah.
camp.
My God.
Boot camp was last September, right? Yeah. And then when were you stationed in Hawaii?
January.
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 So she's been there and are you having a wonderful time?
Yeah, it's great.
You need to put this up there. She's soft spoken.
She's
I am.
soft spoken.
Yeah, soft spoken. So anyway, basically, what are you spending your money on right now?
Mostly food.
Mostly food.
Mostly food.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of food?
Fast food.
Fast food?
Do you have a favorite out there? I know Hawaii has a lot of chains right now.
Canes. That's
Canes?
my go-to.
There's canes in Hawaii? Really? Do you get like a special like island sauce? Like is there like a sweet and sour? No, it's just the same ass canes.
Same.
No,
Same.
because McDonald's does like in each different country or sometimes different states they have different menus and stuff like that. I was hoping Hawaii might have like
But the other, talk about the NEX and what that is.
It's like a grocery store, like a CVS, it's just cheaper.
Okay.
It's
On
they,
base?
they call it a Navy exchange.
Okay.
It's like it's not like a Costco, but it's a big discounted store for the Navy.
Okay.
So do you shop in there?
Yeah, that's where I go.
Yeah. What else do you buy in there?
Makeup.
Makeup.
Stock up on makeup.
Stop on makeup. Okay.
Hair stuff. Cleaning stuff.
Okay.
So on here, it looks like you got fast food at the Next. But it looks like are you buying like at the vending machine
Yeah, at work.
at work? And what are you buying?
Snacks. Drinks.
Snacks, chips, drinks
Yeah,
from the vending machine? Okay.
Is there a Starbucks on base?
there is.
You get.
Or not on base. There's one like 5 minutes away.
Does it deliver? Or do you have to go get it?
You have to go get it.
You have to go get it? Okay. How often would you say you or maybe even just people who are in the same class as you go to Starbucks?
Probably like 4 times a week.
4 times a week. That's actually really low. Most people nowadays would say anywhere between 7 and 10, which is insane, right? When
Yeah.
you think about it. So 4 times a week, average Starbucks order is about $6. That's what they're looking for at the door is about $6. So it's about $24 per week. We're looking at 4 weeks. We're looking at $96 per month, and then
yeah.
times 12 months. You're looking about roughly $1,000 per year on Starbucks, which, even though that's a lot, that's actually quite low. When we do these calculations for our actual clients, we're typically looking at between $1,500 and $2,000 a year for people's Starbucks. They don't want you guys to know that kind of stuff. But yeah, when we do people's finances and we break down just Starbucks, people are typically spending anywhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a year on Starbucks alone.
Yeah.
So you're doing good. You're doing good.
She's doing good. But what I also want to ask you is, can you bring water or soft drinks or anything to where you work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would that be less expensive to buy and bring
Yeah.
in your backpack?
I have gallons of water in my room.
You have gallons of water? Can you buy bottles of water?
Yeah.
Or do you
I have my water
it in
bottle.
You have your
Yeah.
water bottle?
Yeah.
Okay. So that'd be good. Are you buying it out of the vending machine because it's cold?
No,
Because
if I
it's
don't
colder?
have my water,
If you don't
then
have
I
your
buy
water.
it. But
So, okay.
Okay. We understand convenience is a huge part of a lot of people's purchases, right? We understand that. I make purchases of convenience, right? I try to limit them, right? But it definitely is in certain situations a time saver. So I get that, right? We're not trying to tell people to, hey, you can't have anything convenient. You better take the bus everywhere you go, right? But our goal is to try to see like, okay, if I have a gallon of water in a hydro flask, can I refill it, right? I didn't think about water, but I go buy an Aquafina from the gas station, a big 2 liter every day. just a habit. I'm driving around as a realtor. I go buy an Aquafina, 250, 250, 250. Well, guess what? I'm putting myself in the Starbucks range. I'm now spending $20, $25 a week on water. I'm spending $100 a week on water. I have a 5-gallon jug at my house, right? So it's easy to get caught up in the convenience purchases.
You said a really key word there, and that word is habit.
Yeah.
And the habit, when you create habits, and we're all, we all have the habits. We have good habits, and we sometimes have not so good habits, right?
Yeah.
So part of it is trying to break that habit.
Yeah.
And it could be just like with you and the water, like bringing your jug every morning,
Bringing the jug.
putting your keys on top of the jug
Yeah.
to go. Now, I'm the same way, right? My wife bought a big, like, filtered water thing that we put water in and it filters it and then we use it. But I still want
The bottle of
the
water.
bottle of water because I know how much I'm drinking
Yes.
of this, and I haven't gotten used to like putting it in the thing that Robert has. I don't
Yeah.
like that. So, but if I want to save some money that way, I just have to break that habit or get into a new habit. And a lot of people have different spending habits, and it's just trying to really adjust your spending habits accordingly.
Of course. So, in your situation, right, is it a pretty common experience for everyone to just buy everything on base?
Yeah.
Buy things from the snack machine. I'm guessing Cane's is located in the NEX. It's on base.
It's like 10 minutes away from base.
Oh, so you have to leave and go get that as well.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever Uber Eats it, or is it always walking to go get it?
Well, I normally go with my friends to get it, so they have a car and
Oh, so you guys so you have access
So
to
you'll
actual
drive.
transportation.
Yeah.
Extra car.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you're putting me on, right? I've never known anybody stationed in Hawaii. I don't know the business, right?
Yeah.
So this is educational
Yeah.
for me as well. So you guys drive to Cane's to pick everything up, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your average order is at Cane's?
just a box combo.
Just the box combo?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? I know Hawaii has some different pricing over there. General guesstimate, what would you say your order is at Cane's?
Like how
price-wise?
much?
Yeah.
Like $12.
Usually about $12, right?
Mm-hmm.
$12, right? So let's just go flat number $12, right? You say you go to Cane's. How many times would you say you eat out per week?
Per week?
Yeah, is it like a lunch and dinner thing? Do you guys get dinner on base, or are you eating out for every meal?
No, not every meal.
Okay.
It's either like lunch or dinner.
Once so
Mostly dinner.
Mostly dinner. So for lunch you eat on base.
Mm-hmm.
What are the options for eating on base?
It depends, because I am working during lunch.
Okay.
So it just depends on what they have.
Okay. So you're often, because you work around the cooks, it's easier for
Mm-hmm.
you to just kind of grab food while you're eating.
Yeah.
And then at nighttime, is the food not good? Oh, I don't want to get you in trouble. Is the food is the food not what you are looking for, or is eating at Cane's just a habitual thing for you? Is it
The
just
food
like
on at work,
yeah?
I'm gone during dinner, so I'm not there.
Okay, so you're going to dinner.
Where are
Yeah.
you?
Home.
But
I'm
you're
off
on
of work
base.
before dinner.
right?
Yeah.
So would you eat?
I have food in my room, or I go off base and get food.
Okay, but there's no like dining hall or anything like that where everybody can eat. They don't provide you guys meals on base.
I've gone there a few times,
Okay,
but yeah.
it just wasn't for you.
I mean, it's okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna start going there more often.
Hey, again,
We're not telling you to.
No, I know.
I'm walking on I have big feet and I'm walking on the tiniest of eggshells right now, okay? Because again, you're 19 now, right?
Yeah.
You're 19, right? You are doing much better at 19 than I was at 19. I knew what I was spending my money on at 19, okay? And it wasn't Cane's. I was illegally sports gambling at Caesar's Palace, right? so I am not sitting in this seat to be any kind of hypocrite, right? Like I'm telling you. But I wish at 19 I had Bill as my dad.
See,
To
I'm
go-
going so bad.
Serious, I did. I would have hated it. I would have been angry at him all the time. But looking back, I wish I would have had that, right? I wish I would have had someone to explain to me, like, hey, man, listen, this is where your debt's going. This is where your income's going. This is what you're doing monthly, right? And so the reason we're asking about Cane's is because if you're going to Cane's, would you say you go there 5 to 6 times a week?
Like once a week.
Oh, it's just a once a week thing. So the rest of the time you're eating all meals on base.
No.
No, you go to different fast food places.
Yeah.
So would you say when you eat fast food, is it 5 to 6 times per week?
Maybe it's like 3 times a week,
Three
4
times a week. Okay. So you're doing better than most people, right? Because most people are eating out and their per head cost, I've done the math on this, which is super nuts. The average person's eating out cost nowadays is closer to $20 to $25 when they eat out, including tip, right? And
That
a lot
makes
of
sense.
a lot of people are eating out 5, 6, 7 times per week. A lot of people eat out twice per day. They eat out for lunch, then they do takeout for dinner, right? So you're looking at the average person is spending anywhere from $40 to $60 a day just on food, right? And that's saying they're only eating at Chipotle, they're only eating at what we call like the mid-range or fast casual dining, right?
And she gets what's called BAS, correct? Basic allowance for sustenance.
Okay.
That's a hard word for me to say.
Sustenance.
Sustenance. And it's basically kind of a food allowance, correct? And so she gets, I believe, somewhere around $450.
Yeah, it's 400.
$400.
400.
So that's kind of her
Per month?
like per month,
Per month, okay.
tax free. It's kind of like her spending money.
Okay.
And and like you and me both, Brandon, we're not telling people stop going out, don't
Sure.
go out, because you have to live life. It's just trying to become aware and trying to create the habits where maybe you go instead of 5 times, you think you're going 3 times, but maybe you're going 5 times. Maybe it's twice one day because you're out on a Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And so it's just trying to become more aware of it, and then maybe just allocating a certain amount per week. Maybe you don't even look at the money. You just say, I'm only going out 3 times a week, whatever it may be.
Yeah. It's not, people often get, because this is an emotional thing, eating is an emotional thing. How you eat is an emotional thing, right? And we're not telling people to cut that out. What we're saying is take 1 month and just see how much you're spending, because we do it so habitually, we often don't know the number, right? I'll tell you guys a true story. It's a true story. I can't believe I'm saying this on camera, okay? Everybody knows how much I spend on food. You can see my videos. You can see it, right? So it's not like it's something I can hide, but people don't know the exact number. When I was getting prepared for my house last year, I sat down with my accountant. He looked me dead in the face, Gracie. Dead in the face. Do you know how much I spent on food in 2023? Over 6 figures.
$100,000.
Now, I do tip a lot. I'm from Vegas, so I'm usually anywhere from 40 to 50% tipper, because just how I am. I'm that guy, right? I love Vegas. I want to take care of people. But when my accountant looked me in my face and told me that I was spending someone's salary on food, it was the biggest wake-up call, because I didn't think I was spending anywhere near that. I'm like, dude, I only eat out a couple times per week. It can't be that much. But he showed me the numbers, right? I could believe what I wanted to believe, but here's my accountant with every single time I spend money on food, right? And he doesn't even know the times I spend cash.
So I'm going to put that in context. That's like $8,000, more than like
Yeah.
$8,500
Yeah.
a month.
Yeah, on food.
On
On
food.
food, on food and entertainment, beverages, things like that.
$2,000 a week.
$2,000 a week. And I didn't realize I was spending it, right? But that's because I refused to sit down, grab a bank statement, and be like, holy crap, what are you doing, right? And so the goal with this is not to, it seems like a punishment, right? It seems like an attack. That's how people mentally view it.
We don't want to attack.
But it's not that.
No.
We don't want your food and entertainment budget to go to zero. We just want you to know what it is, right? If I asked you right now, straight up, how much do you spend a month on eating out?
We like 200, 300.
You'd have to guess, right? But you don't know.
I have no idea.
That's the thing. We don't want. Matter of fact, if you go through our program and you circle everything, and you decide, you know what, I'm comfortable with that number. Great. We're not even asking you to change the number. We just want you to be aware of it. That way, when you call me and bill, and you cry and go, I can't afford a house, we can go, yeah, you're spending $2,000 a week on food, you idiot, right? We just want you to be aware of what you're spending.
Well, and she's 19. She's not making a lot of money. They don't provide a lot of money. They
Yeah.
provide housing, which is awesome. She doesn't have that. They provide some food or sustenance.
Yeah.
And but so that every little dollar counts.
Yes.
In her world, and it's just trying to figure out what is she spending it on. And I think a lot of people, when they decide they want to buy a house, guess what? They figure it out. They go, I better start saving money. I can cut here, I can cut here, I can cut here. But once they have that goal of buying the house, then they start making the changes. But they don't know sometimes what the goal is. They
Yep.
don't know how much do I need to save. They don't know how much money they need for a down payment. Some people say, I got money for the down payment. I go, what about the closing costs? And sometimes the closing cost is almost as much as the down payment.
Yeah,
So there's ways to offset it, but they need to save the money. And it's just getting that game plan. And you and I are certainly here to help them get to the point where they have the game plan. And it could be, I got some person right now, self-employed, 1 year, really doing, just crushing it income-wise. She needs 1 more year and she needs to save money. She's got that goal now and she's putting $2,000 a week, not a week, I'm sorry, a month away.
You'll find that, and you used the perfect word, which is goals. You'll find that once you start goal setting, it will start taking a place of a lot of the bad habits, right? The reason a lot of us fall into bad habits is because we don't have goals. I was 19. My goal at 19 was to get laid. Brandon, what's your
I
goal?
can't say that. My daughter's here.
I'm bad cop, okay? My goal at 19 was like, wake up, what are you gonna do today? Figure out a way to get laid, right? That was my only mission in life. I had no bigger purpose, right? And so my habits, my spending habits were based around that. If I got laid early enough in the day, I've succeeded. I can spend my money wherever I want to. I've already successfully completed my mission, right?
Yeah.
But funny, I need humor aside. Like your dad said, the goal is to get you a house in Hawaii, right? You don't need to be a real estate agent to realize that houses in Hawaii make a lot of money,
Yeah.
right? They generate a lot of money, right? And at 19, what would you say? I know what your dad's goals are. What would you say your goals are, right? Other than obviously making it through the military, being successful, what would you say your goals are? What goal do you have that could help you establish better habits?
Again, save it for a house, save it for a car.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to?
You don't say because of me, Mike.
Yeah, no.
No, it's not because it's
Okay,
not because
good,
you.
good.
Yeah. Do you know what it's going to take to get that car? Because obviously getting the car is going to be a lot easier
Yeah.
than getting the house.
Yeah.
You know what it would take. You know the financial burden that it would carry, right? With insurance, gas, the down payment on the car, all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. How much do you think you would need to save from your monthly stipend allowance that they're giving you to achieve that?
Maybe like 300.
Like 300, okay. And in what you're getting, so it's 400. You get a basic housing allowance, right? And then you get your sustenance allowance.
Yeah.
How much from that do you think you could reasonably save a month? And do you think we'd be able to find that money here in the food budget?
It's like 300, 400.
300 and 400, okay. If we went through every single statement here, do you think we would very easily, between vending machines and eating out nightly, do you think we'd be able to find that money pretty quickly?
Probably.
Pretty quickly, right? And it's something I have to ask myself all the time whenever I spend a stupid amount of money at Peter Luger's or something, right? I have to ask myself, I'm just being real, I'm being real. If I had invested that money in something I genuinely cared about, like myself, would I be in a better position, right? And the answer is typically, hell yeah, right? Do you think after hearing us break it down, kind of go over the numbers, have you looked at the sheet yet?
No.
No? Do me a favor. Do me a favor. While me and your dad ramble on, I want you to peek at that sheet, right? I actually want you to look at the numbers because nothing was better for me than actually taking a look, seeing it in front of me. You know what I mean?
And this is basically, Grace, the USAA. account, and it doesn't include your Navy Fed, which I don't have access to. So you're going to have to pull up your Navy Fed and
Okay.
figure out what's on there. But this just shows you what you were spending on USA for the last 3 months.
Okay.
The
So,
last 3 months, right?
and this is what it is right there.
Yeah.
This is a true story. I won't use names because we have to keep everybody's privacy. I just sat down this week with a client of mine, right? And unbeknownst to his wife, he brought her in to talk about real estate. What he brought me in to do was be the bad cop. Right?
Yep. Yep.
Because that conversation with your partner. Now, you
You're
guys,
good at being the bad cop.
I am.
You're really good at that.
I'm a great bad cop.
I think it's great.
It frustrates the people around me, but I'm a great bad cop. This is not meant to be. I have couples where the husband spends too much money on cars, BS crap, and the wife is the one who saves, right? So I've seen it in each situation. I have seen it in each situation, right? But in this example, they brought me in to be the bad cop, right? Where her vice was travel. She wanted to travel. And you see that with a lot of young women nowadays. They want to travel. They want to travel. They want to travel. They want to travel. And I tell them, okay, that's great. Travel consists of plane tickets. Travel consists of hotel rooms. Travel consists of, you're not cooking your own food when you travel.
Eating out.
So you're eating out 2 to 3 times a day. You're usually drinking. You're usually buying knickknacks. You usually buy travel clothes, right? You're not traveling. You're spending money.
You're spending money.
Your hobby
Everywhere.
Your hobby
You're
isn't
taking an Uber. You're going
yeah.
to the airport.
You're taking an
You're
Uber
doing
here and
it-
there.
Yeah.
Your hobby isn't traveling, it's spending money. Travel is just this is gonna be a funny example. Someone asked me what my favorite food is, and I tell them, oh, I like crab and I like toast. Turns out I just like butter. Toast and crab just happen to be vessels for me to
For you to eat
put butter. Right? If I dip my hands in
Okay.
if I
I
dip
mean-
my hands in butter, you guys are like, this freak. But if I dip a whole crab leg in butter, you guys are like, oh, this guy's eating well, right? So I don't really like crab. It's just an excuse to have butter. I don't think a lot of people like travel. I think travel just gives them the opportunity to spend money, right? And having this conversation with people can be hard.
Yeah.
So one of the things I tell people to do is utilize Bill and I. If it's hard for you to have this conversation with yourself, if it's hard for you to have this conversation with your partner, guess what? Bill and I make excellent bad cops. You can get mad at us. We're
Yeah.
okay with it.
It's okay.
We're okay with it, right? You're willing to handle that.
I do it in a little bit nicer way. I'm the grandfather that basically will tell you, well, we could probably do a little bit better job. And Brandon's like, what are you doing? So Brandon, but yeah, so if, it depends on who you want to go to.
Yeah.
A lot of people like Brandon because I talk to people and they all love Brandon because Brandon's just like, what are you doing? This is
Yeah. I'm gonna beat it into your head.
You're
pretty
going to
big.
be, and that's why they love you.
I'm gonna talk to you the way I talk to myself, basically. I'm gonna talk to you the same way I talk to myself, right? And it's not gonna be nice, it's not gonna be pleasant, but it's gonna be factual. You don't make enough money to live like this, right? You are spending like a princess and you live like a peasant,
Yeah.
right? You're not the princess in the story. You're the person washing the floors and cleaning the chamber pot. That's you. But you're living like this person, right? And behaving like this is what's keeping you from becoming that person.
That person.
You know? I'm going to give it to you straight. But if you want it in a much nicer way, if you are not able to print out your bank statements and do this yourself, and guess what? Do not beat yourself up. Do not look down on yourself. Do not be mean to yourself.
We all have it.
This is hard. And if you need somebody to help you, guess what? The handsome gentleman behind me, sitting next to me.
Do I
Wait,
still
hold on,
look like
Bill.
that?
Hold on, Bill.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
maneuver my forearm. Hold on.
Can't do it here.
That's his
Yeah,
number.
this is what they're seeing on YouTube.
That's his number for you guys, okay? Bill,
Yes.
tell them how they can reach you.
You can reach me at billgaylord.com. That has all my information there. billgaylord.com, just the way it sounds, or 858-776-6830. So one thing, Brandon, that I want to, can we go back one little second?
Yeah, of course.
Because I want to go back to Grace. Because Grace, we talk about people spend their money on food and entertainment.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. There's a lot of entertainment in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Grace has the best entertainment in Hawaii. Grace, what do you guys do as entertainment in Hawaii?
Every weekend we go cliff jumping.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's
Think-
so sick.
She goes cliff jumping with like how many people go?
Last weekend there was over 30.
Over 30
how,
people.
How high up do you guys go?
Our tallest was 80.
80?
80
Jesus
feet.
criminy.
Yeah, 80 feet. Now she's not jumping, right? You've
I jumped
decided
once,
you
and then I
jumped
was like,
once.
no, I'm
You're not doing it.
No? Is it the climbing up or the jumping down that's hard? for
Climbing
you?
up.
It's the climbing up? Okay. You afraid of heights?
I mean, it's pretty. No.
No, okay.
And what do you bring for food when you go there?
I brought strawberries
Oh, good
Okay.
on
last
you.
time.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was good.
So
Okay.
you guys have found an
You bring-
entertainment activity that has a budget of
Pretty much
zero,
zero.
Yeah.
right? You're splitting gas money, I'm guessing, maybe to get there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the distance between the base and where
Like
you guys
45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay, so you guys are splitting gas money on the way over there, but you found a pretty affordable hobby.
Yeah.
Is it something? Okay, I've never been to Hawaii. Are there other affordable hobbies like that on base or around base?
Not really. There's like nothing to do on base.
There's nothing to do on base.
No.
Okay, so where do most people get their entertainment from outside of the cliff jumping?
Her.
The beach a lot.
the beach a lot.
Yeah,
The beach a
mostly.
lot. Okay, so at least you have something close, relatively close for entertainment, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the entertainment side because, and this is going to sound harsh, but I'm sorry. If you're someone who's a Netflix, Hulu, Disney person, that's your entertainment. You don't need to go out. You're paying for entertainment into your home, right?
And you don't need all three.
You don't need all. Well, now you're going to get me into trouble.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're going to be paying that much per month for entertainment, stay your ass at home, right? What's the point of having a $2,000 luxury apartment, Netflix, all these things if you're going to still go out? Why are you traveling in a luxury apartment? You could have had a dirt cheap apartment and traveled, right? Like, what's the point of buying something nice where you're at so that you can travel and spend money somewhere else, right? It's not that your entertainment is a problem. It's that you need too much of it, right? It's the luxury apartment and the travel and the going out. And I used to work nightclubs. You're paying. It's $50 on a busy night if you're a dude. It's $20 for a cocktail. These things add up.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing too is when you go through your bank statement, and I do it, and it's difficult.
Yeah.
I look at Apple. What the hell is that all about, right? What am I spending this money on? And
Yeah.
it's this subscription and that subscription and this subscription. And I wanted to find the fight, but I had to sign up for ESPN Plus in order to get the fight. And I could cancel in 30 days, but I forgot to cancel in 30 days. So now I keep paying the god dang,
Yeah.
subscription fee. So it's just, looking at those, probably semi-annually to understand what kind of subscriptions you have.
Yeah.
Cut them off,
100%.
Figure it out instead of just getting Apple. What was that for,
100%.
So-
There's as scary as it can be. There's no reason not to go through your previous month's bank statements. It takes about an hour, and we can all find an hour on a Sunday, right? Cut out an hour of TV, cut out an hour of TikTok scrolling. Go through your bank statements for the previous month. You might find that you spent less than you thought, right? I want to leave you with this, Grace, because I'm proud of you. I'm not sure if it's conveyed on this episode, but I'm beyond proud of you. When
Thank
your
you.
dad told me you were coming back, I've been pumped. I wanted to get you on here just because I've missed you and I wanted to
Yeah,
see your face,
yeah.
right? And I'm like, this is the only way she's going to want to hang out with me. I'm not going to be able to text her and be like, hey, you want to, right?
Hey,
like, you're going to be like, no, I got better things to do. I'm on vacation,
Yeah.
right? So I needed to see you. I needed to see my face when I told you I'm incredibly proud
Yeah.
of you. You're doing something that I hope my niece follows in your footsteps. You're doing something admirable, and I know you're going to do great, right? And I'm honored that you were willing to come on here and sit down and let these two old fogies, sit here and yap at you and try to do it. But try to make it a game. Honestly, when you go through your bank statements, see how much you spent last month and make it a game. See if you can spend less each month. Make it fun for yourself, because if you make it a chore, you already have a list of chores, right? I'm sure the military has you doing a bunch of stuff that you may not want to do.
Yeah.
If you make it a chore, it's just going to go by the wayside. Try to make it fun for yourself. Try to say, okay, I spent $400 the last month on eating out. Let's see if I can get it down to $350, right? Try to do something that makes it fun for you.
Yeah, and I'm going to just make the game as well. And I'm going to also point out my friend Robert, who's behind the scenes, who is basically, he was bankrupt to homeowner in 3 years. And one of the ways that he went about saving money was he did micro saving. And that's where I think it could be really good for you, where I'm looking at one of these things, on May 31st, you spent $10 on water,
Yeah.
right? Or it might have been soda. It was probably soda.
Probably.
Probably Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, probably.
Probably Dr.
The
Pepper.
best of the sodas.
So, anyways, if you cut two of those out and you just had one, that's $6.50. If you had like $6.50 go into a little like separate bank account that's automatically transferred, and we can set that up for you, that's automatically transferred to a savings account, just that $6, that's like $2,000 a year.
yeah.
Just by cutting those two things, and
Yeah.
it becomes a game. It's called micro saving, and
Repeat-
it helped Robert.
Repeat that again, because like a lot of people don't seem to understand. If you save $6 a day over 30 days, $180. Over 12 months, you're looking at what, 19?
Yeah, it's almost $2,000.
Yeah, people treat $6 a day like it's nothing, but it's not. They say, "Oh, my Starbucks is only $6 a day." Okay, congratulations. That's $180 a month. Like that's not no money. That's not zero.
Well, and Robert made a game out of it. He started with $10,
Yeah.
right? You go $10 a day. Can you live without $10 a day? Yeah, you probably can. You figure out what you may not go out to eat, or you may not buy that extra soda. You may, and then that goes away. That's $3,650 a year.
Yeah,
But he was like, "Ooh, I can do this.
Yeah.
Can I do $20 a day?" Right? And he did $20 a day. And how much did you get up to, Robert?
Oh, I forgot already.
But it was like, I think it got up to like 25 or 30. I think at one point you were doing $30 a day, and that's a lot of money. That's almost $10,000,
100%,
$30 a day.
100%.
So it's the little things, but people try and do it monthly. Oh,
Yeah.
when my paycheck comes, I'm gonna put $100, and then the paycheck comes. Oh, I need that for this, and then. But if you can actually set it up in your account, little by little
Yep.
by little, every day a little bit comes out of your account, and we're creatures of habit. We look at our bank statement, and we go, "Oh, I guess I just don't have enough money today." So if the money's not in your account, you generally are not going to spend it.
True.
So if it exits your account, you're just going to look at your current account balance. Oh, I got that much spent. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it goes. So, those are little things that people can do. And that's a really good way to start saving money. Turn it into a game. How much more can I do? Start with $5.
Oh yeah, guys, this episode was not the most fun. No, listen, I came in here. One of the reasons we brought you on, Grace, is because you're the only way this is going to be any fun for anybody, right? Because listen, she's going to do it. You guys may not know this girl, but if she decides she's going to do something, she's going to do it, right? And I want all of you watching this who are grown adults, I want you to know that she's going to embarrass you. Because if a 19-year-old girl can do it while juggling the military and you can't, that means you're not putting in the effort. That means you're not as much of an adult as you thought you are. And that's okay, but you have to admit it to yourself. You have to admit the truth because she's going to do it. I promise you, this woman is not a quitter. So I believe you guys can do it too. All right?
100%.
We were a little harsh, but that's okay. Sometimes we need that. Rewatch this episode. Take the lessons that Bill gave you about saving money, about making it fun for yourself, and really apply them. And if nothing else, go through your bank statements, circle your spending, at least have an understanding of where your money's going. That way you can start to save it. All right?
And go Navy.
Go Navy. Let's go, baby. Gracie. Bill, Thank you for your time as always. I'm Brandon from Vegas. You can find me literally anywhere on the internet. Just put Brandon from Vegas in there. The rest of my content is way more fun. I promise you.
There's a little dry. This was
No, not dry. We're talking about a subject that hurts, man. It hurts. It sucks. I went through this myself. I thought I was making good money, and then I realized the more money I made, the more I was spending. It sucks. I get it, but it's necessary. Find me anywhere. Brandon from Vegas. Bill, tell them where they can find you.
over there.
Right over here. BillGaylord.com. If you guys reach out to me on the real estate forum, I promise you I'm going to send you to Bill anyway. So you might want to start with him, and then he'll reach out to me. Gracie, you want to shout out your socials?
No, it's okay.
Hey, thank you guys for time. And as always, come and be my neighbor.
Bye, everybody.